Hi there, thanks for dropping by on our landing page for Google Training. Sharron and I in Houston, we've just finished a week's worth of Google Training, and we're just wrapping up, and we thought it would be a good idea to do a video for future attendees just so they can see what's in store for them.
So in terms of the Google Analytics training that you give, Matt, is there anything that people need to have done in preparation for attending one of your courses?
Yeah, so what we recommend is that people attend with a Google Analytics account. So that would mean that they would have obviously opened a Google Analytics account, got the code and installed it onto their website, and would have begun to have collected some data, because it's we can give them a test account if they really haven't, or if they're not ready to launch their website. But it's much better to look at your own data because then you're really being able to react to it as well.
Okay. And how many days Google Analytics training are there?
So it's a 3-day course. It starts with 101, which is really an introduction to the new user interface. We're using version 5. That is a really good introduction, even if you're quite a seasoned professional in analytics, because it's quite a complex interface, complex product. So we go right through it. The course has been described as a really good tour. Day 1 is a really good tour of analytics. We talk about the benefits of all the reports and try and understand them all, and really go through it in detail. Day 2, 201, is really a bit more advanced. It's about cleaning your data, looking at the more complicated settings to improve and cleanse your data, looking at things like multi-channel funnels, beginning to look at some of the advanced analysis techniques, looking at campaign tracking in more detail and so forth.
Okay, and who typically attends day 1 and day 2 of the course?
So we find day 1 and day 2 is really the marketing director, marketing manager, the marketing type person. Great idea if technical people attend too, because they get to appreciate what marketers require from the technical side of the product. And we tend to find people whose job is a lot in analytics will probably attend all 3 days, definitely 2 days. And we find that marketers tend to attend 1 day, and maybe they come back for another day, or they attend for the 2 days. So that's what we tend to find.
Okay. And what about people of a more technical nature that need to implement Google Analytics?
Yeah, well, that's day 3. So day 3 is looking at a lot of coding, customizations, event tracking, custom variables, all the different things you can do with the code, which is surprisingly flexible. So that's really for day 3. And I think from past experience, technical people that attend day 1 and 2 get a lot out of it, because they can appreciate what their marketing colleagues need from a technical standpoint, and then they learn how to implement it.
Okay. So there's a lot of training there. Are there any discounts available?
Yeah, so we do a great discount, 25% if you book 30 days in advance, and your booking is a multi-day booking. So that's really quite good. And those are the best discounts we can offer on those. So it's worth the 30 days booking ahead. So what about AdWords, Sharron? So you do the AdWords course. You do AdWords 101, 102. Tell me a little bit more about those.
Okay, yeah, we have 2 days AdWords training. So on the first day, we really start at the basics. So ideally people would have an AdWords account up front, so they've got some data in there, but if they haven't, that's fine, we can cope through that. And we just quickly open an account for them on the day, so that they've got an area where they can kind of play and experiment and become familiar with the tool and the interface. And
so doing changes and seeing them in effect as you do them is really useful.
So they've got things there and then that they can take away with them. So we start from basics in terms of making sure they understand all the different places where Google AdWords ads can appear, because people are often surprised as to how many places there are. And then we go through the whole process of actually creating a campaign and how to do that, being aware of some of the default settings that they may want to change.
So looking at campaigns, ad groups, keywords, all of those things.
And they've got that very much at the end of the day to take away with them. So in their account, they've got a campaign which we have created.
So they've actually done work during the day. Okay,
that's
fantastic.
They can have that paused or have that running, so that they're getting some results back from it straight away.
Okay, very good. And then day 2, so a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, day 2 we move on to some other areas. So we look more at advertising on the display network and what's involved there, because that's quite a different challenge to advertise advertising on search.
Remarketing, is remarketing?
Remarketing isn't yet. Remarketing is what we're going to cover, because we're going to have a 301 and a 302.
So another 2 days of really advanced AdWords training.
So much to cover that isn't covered already in the 2 days.
Okay.
So remarketing, audiences, lots of the new features like extensions, etc. We'll go into a lot more detail of those on the advanced course.
Okay, cool. So going back to 201 then, so what else are they going to learn? Display, not necessarily remarketing, but display.
Yeah, and we look a lot more at measurements. So it's one thing kind of having campaigns running, but are they achieving your objectives?
Right,
so we look at how you can measure and track them and see what's converting and what isn't. Then you can tune your account accordingly to get the maximum return on investment from it.
Which is what it should be all about,
really. Which is exactly what it's about,
And I think you've told me on a number of occasions that I think people who get the most out of the course are people that have probably dabbled in AdWords. They spend a lot of money, made a lot of mistakes. They come back and they learn the error of their ways.
Exactly.
Really.
We had a classic example of that today, where someone didn't fully understand what was happening in their campaign, and just in the last 30 days they spent $200 in one particular area that they weren't even aware of. They were spending the money there.
So just throwing money away.
Exactly.
And it could have been worse. It could have been more money, of course.
It could have been, so he was really pleased as a result of that, and kind of understood where the money was going now and what to do about it.
And what are you planning for 301 and 302, more advanced? What are you planning in there? So,
well, a lot of the new features, lots of different ways you can do the bidding that we're not able to cover, so all those options. Some of the more advanced features that have come out in terms of the audiences, etc. And as I mentioned, the remarketing, that's very popular and works very well for a lot of our clients. So those are all topics that are going to be part of 301 and 302, lots of more detailed, rather than kind of just kind of going over some of the general settings. We'll actually explore a lot more into those.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's so 3 days for analytics, 2 days for AdWords, another 2 days for AdWords coming up. And the other course that I run is obviously Website Optimizer, all about conversion rate optimization, really, about A/B testing, multivariate testing. I think it's the icing on the cake, isn't it, for a lot of this?
Well, it is. The whole three just then kind of integrate together so well, and
exactly,
kind of got the whole scenario.
So. Really look forward to seeing you in one of our venues. We're running the course every month in London. We're doing it in Manchester in the UK as well, so London in the UK, and we're also very lucky to be in Houston. So we do Houston, we do Austin, and we do Dallas. So we're really looking forward to seeing you on one of our courses. Check out our reviews. We're quite proud of our reviews. We're quite proud of our courses. We work very hard on them, and we get a lot of good feedback, don't we, Sharron? So,
and a lot of repeat visitors. So
and a lot of repeat visitors,
and then following month come on another one.
Come for more as well, yeah. So I mean, really look forward to seeing you, and thanks for listening. Thanks very much. Cheers, bye.